Imagine having 1 billion people connect through something you created. It all began during his college days at Harvard University. Zuckerberg, a computer science student, noticed a lack of a centralized online platform for students to connect and share information. This sparked a desire in him to create a more efficient and interactive way for students to connect. What started as a simple college project called Facemash quickly evolved into something much bigger. Today, we'll look at the 10 books that we believe helped him build the biggest social media platform in the world. So without further ado, let's dive into the pages that shaped the mind behind Facebook. Book number 1 on the list is Why Nations Fail by Darren Acemoglu and James A. Robinson. In their book Why Nations Fail, economists Darren Acemoglu and James Robinson deal with the age-old question, why are some countries rich while others stay poor? They argue that factors like climate or culture aren't the main culprits. Instead, the authors point to a nation's institutions, the rules and incentives that shape a society. Acemoglu and Robinson differ between two main kinds of institutions: extractive institutions, which concentrate money and power in the hands of a small number of people, and inclusive institutions, which promote widespread investment and involvement. Strong property rights and political engagement are a couple of examples of inclusive systems that support innovation and economic expansion. However, by selecting a select few, extractive institutions restrict those possibilities. Mark Zuckerberg reportedly said the book changed the way he thinks about the world. As he said, this book examines the various social institutions and incentives that nations have implemented to encourage economic prosperity, development, and the reduction of poverty. Why Nations Fail is a good fit for anyone curious about the root causes of poverty and prosperity, and those who want to understand how institutions can shape a country's destiny. Book number 2, Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. In this international bestseller, Sapiens: A Brief History of Humankind, Israeli author Yuval Noah Harari studies the entire span of human history, from our humble beginnings as one of many human species to our current place as dominant rulers of the planet, from 2.5 million years ago to today. Harari raises important questions. Why did some species become extinct while ours survived? How did agriculture, language, and advanced societies come to exist? He challenged the traditional stories of human progress and said that a major contributing element to our success is our exceptional capacity for massive teamwork created by common beliefs and stories. In a 2016 Facebook post, Zuckerberg said Sapiens raises important questions about the future of our species. The book explores the forces that have shaped us and ponders where we might be headed next. Sapiens is a thought-provoking read for anyone curious about our place in the universe and the strange twists and turns that led us here. Book number 3, Creativity Inc. by Ed Catmull. Pixar co-founder Ed Catmull's book, Creativity Inc., offers advice on how to encourage creativity in the workplace. The animated movie studio Pixar is known for the outstanding films that won numerous Academy Awards, such as the Monsters, Inc. series, the Toy Story trilogy, and Finding Nemo. Catmull offers practical advice on how to encourage a creative culture in a company. He talks about how important it is to develop talent, encourage teamwork, and create an atmosphere that is good for creativity. The book also explores the challenges that Pixar has encountered throughout the years and how it has overcome them to keep delivering outstanding work. In a 2014 Facebook post, Zuckerberg said the book offers great insights into how to build a creative culture. We can see why it resonates with him because Facebook, like Pixar, relies on innovation and fresh ideas. Creativity Inc. is a valuable resource for anyone looking to build a team that's built on open communication and excellence. Book number 4, The Three-Body Problem by Cixin Liu. Cixin Liu's science fiction book, The Three-Body Problem, introduces humans to a terrifying alien society. There are 2 sections to the story. In the past, Ye Wenji, a young lady, saw a terrible incident during China's Cultural Revolution that changed her opinion of the world. Years later, she mistakenly invites disaster when she participates in a secret military mission that sends a message into space. The second part is present day, when Wang Miao, a nanoparticle physicist, gets involved in a mysterious virtual reality game that mimics life on Earth with 3 suns. The chaotic Trisolaran society is seen in the planet's ongoing change caused by this severe environment. Wang learns more about the connection between the VR game and the message sent years ago as he researches. The Trisolarans are planning to attack Earth because they are anxious to leave their dying planet. The struggle of humanity to prepare for the attack is discussed all over the book, with some characters calling for peace and others for rebellion. The book explores technology, philosophy, and the potential effects of coming into contact with extraterrestrial life. Mark Zuckerberg recommends The Three-Body Problem because it offers a fresh perspective on alien contact. According to an article in the New York Times, he described the book as having immense scope and praised it for making day-to-day problems seem fairly petty. This book is a great pick for anyone who enjoys science fiction with a touch of philosophical element. Book number 5, The Rational Optimist by Matt Ridley. The Rational Optimist explores the idea that throughout history, human beings have made progress through exchange and specialization. Ridley argues that despite challenges and setbacks, humanity has continually improved its standard of living through innovation, trade, and cooperation. In the book, Ridley challenges this current notion that things are getting worse by highlighting the advancements humans have made in areas such as technology, healthcare, and living standards. He argues that overall growth exists despite unexpected failures like wars and economic downturns. Overall, the Rational Optimist presents an unusual perspective on human advancement, rejecting negative myths and showing the possibility of positive change via innovation and cooperation. Coming back to number 6 on the list, World Order by Henry Kissinger. In his book, World Order, former U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger addresses the idea of maintaining international law and order. Kissinger believes that different periods in history have shaped the idea of the ideal global structure. For instance, China has historically seen itself as the center, with the emperor at the head of a system of hierarchy. In contrast, the idea of independent nations living in an order of power began in Europe. Kissinger looks at these historical viewpoints in addition to the problems of the 21st century, like conflicts between ideologies and advances in technology. According to a YouTube video review, Zuckerberg likely appreciates Kissinger's analysis of how different cultures view the world. This understanding could be crucial for navigating complex international issues, especially for someone like Zuckerberg, who heads a global tech company. World Order is recommended for those interested in international relations, history lovers, and anyone curious about how the world got to where it is today. Book number 7, Dealing with China by Henry M. Paulson, Jr. Dealing with China gives guidance on how to handle the opportunities and problems presented by China as it rises to influence the global economy. Paulson, the CEO of Goldman Sachs and a former U.S. Treasury Secretary, uses his years of dealing experience with China to offer a thorough knowledge of its social, political, and economic dynamics. The book discusses several topics related to China's development, such as its political system, business climate, economic reforms, and different cultures. Paulson talks about how to interact with China in business and diplomacy by establishing positive working relationships, learning about their viewpoints, and adapting methods. Mark Zuckerberg suggests reading if you want to learn about the challenges of doing business in China. He seeks the book to understand the nation's landscape to increase Facebook's impact on the nation. Paulson's book gives useful guidance and practical advice to help people and companies deal with the advantages and disadvantages of doing business in China. Book number 8, The Idea Factory by John Gertner. John Gertner's The Idea Factory tells the fascinating story of Bell Labs, the research and development center behind some of the most revolutionary inventions of the 20th century. From the transistor to the laser, and from cellular phones to digital communication, Bell Labs' innovations have had a profound impact on our modern world. From Bell Labs' foundation in the 1920s to its downfall in the 1980s, the book tells the company's history. Gertner represents the educated and a bit odd scientists who made these discoveries possible. He tells stories of innovators such as John Pierce, the creator of communication satellites, and Claude Shannon, the man who established the foundation for information theory. Mark Zuckerberg is a known advocate for the book. In a 2014 Q&A session, he called The Idea Factory inspiring and said it offered valuable lessons about what causes innovation. The Idea Factory is a must-read for anyone interested in technology, innovation, or simply loves a good story about creative minds changing the world. Book number 9, The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow: Mass Incarceration in the Age of Color Blindness, argues that the American criminal justice system disproportionately targets people of color, particularly African Americans. This creates a clear colorblind system of control over races that is typical of the Jim Crow era of officially enforced discrimination. Despite small fees, the book explains how laws, enforcement plans, and penalties result in the widespread detention of minorities. Families and communities are torn apart by prison, which makes it challenging for those who are released from prison to find employment and housing. Alexander refers to this as a racial caste system in which individuals of color get caught in a cycle of poverty. Anyone who cares about racial equality and widespread jailing in the U.S. should read The New Jim Crow. For anyone who wishes to learn how the criminal justice system can support inequality, it's a worthwhile read. Book number 10, Portfolios of the Poor by Daryl Collins, Jonathan Morduck, Stuart Rutherford, and Orlando Ruthven. Portfolios of the Poor: How the Worlds Live on $2 a Day explores how people living on extremely low incomes manage their finances. Imagine trying to survive on just $2 a day. That's the reality for nearly 40% of the world's population. The book sheds light on how these individuals tackle everyday challenges like buying food, paying rent, and saving for emergencies, all with very limited resources. The primary tool for recording income and expenses in research is a financial diary. This method reveals all the complex financial techniques people use to survive in poverty, showing a level of financial knowledge that is sometimes ignored. Portfolios of the Poor is recommended for anyone seeking a deeper understanding of poverty and the remarkable resilience of people living on very low incomes. It's also a valuable resource for those working in development, microfinance, or social policy. As we come to the end of our exploration, we've uncovered the 10 books that helped shape the mind of Mark Zuckerberg and paved the way for the creation of the world's largest social media platform. From books about innovation and entrepreneurship to the psychology of human behavior and societal dynamics, each book offered valuable lessons and inspiration for Zuckerberg's journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more enriching content. Until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and keep growing.